Live from Frisco, Texas, the Arkansas Travelers are on the air. Hello again, everybody. This is Phil Elson, and a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome to the Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark in Frisco, where tonight, Minor League Baseball and the Texas League present the Arkansas Travelers and the Frisco RoughRiders in Game 3 of a 4-game series. And just 2 games left in the 2004 season, live for both of them on the ticket, Total Sports 1380, and the Travs website, Travs.com, and you're tuned in to the ITT Technical Institute pregame show. ITT Tech committed, as usual, to helping students develop the skills and knowledge where they can pursue opportunities in technological fields such as computer electronics and engineering. Call ITT Tech in Little Rock at 565-5550, or just go online to itt-tech.edu. The positive thing for the Travs yesterday, they scored for the first time in 23 innings. Negative thing, however, they still lost for the 4th consecutive time, 7-3 to Frisco. The Travs fell behind 4-0 on a 2-run triple by Edgar Gonzalez, and Julio Mosquera's 2-run homer in the 4th off of David Gill. Travs able to cut it to a 4-3 deficit as Rudy Gomez knocked in a couple of runs with a single in the 5th. And Jeff Mathis led off the 6th inning with a triple and later scored on an RBI groundout. But Jason Botts, as he has done much of the season for Frisco, came through with the big base hit, a bases clearing 3-run triple in the 7th inning, which took a Frisco 4-3 lead and extended it to that eventual final score of 7-3. Gill gave the Travs his best start over the past month and a half with 6 2/3 innings of work, saving a tired bullpen, but David also allowed 7 runs and 11 hits over those 6 2/3, so loses his last 4 decisions of the 2004 season. Meanwhile, Edwin Moreno didn't have great stuff. Scattered 9 hits on 3 runs over 6 1/3, but Moreno still got the win, his 5th of the season. And misery for the Travs here in Frisco is just, it's been season long. Didn't really matter who was in the Travs lineup on the roster, who was pitching. This has just been a field of horrors for the 2004 edition of the Travs, as at the Giant Soda Bottle, Arkansas has won only 2 of 11 games. And their worst record against any Texas League opponent has been against the Frisco RoughRiders, as Arkansas has gone 7-15 against Frisco in their second year as a franchise in the Texas League. So Frisco won the season series last year. They had already won the season series by the time the Travs rolled into Frisco on Thursday morning. And so right now Frisco is basically cruising in towards the playoffs, as they clinched a playoff spot a few days ago, and they've won 7 in a row, so they really still haven't skipped a beat. They're still playing very good baseball, seem to be a very sharp team, and also seem to be very focused as they head into the playoffs against the Tulsa Drillers on Tuesday. Frisco at 44-24. That's the best record in the Texas League in the second half by 5 games. And so Frisco really does have everything going for them as they try to march towards their first Texas League championship. The Travs, however, they're just trying not to lose 45 games in a half, and it'll take at least 1 win over the next 2 days in order to achieve not losing 45 games. And I'm not sure if achieve is the word to say, but wins have been so difficult to come by, especially over the final month of the season. After July ended and the Travs played some of their best baseball in the second half in the month of July. But August and September, the Travs have played 31 games, and they've lost 21 of them, winning only 10, and especially against Frisco in the last month and probably about 5 weeks. It's been Frisco beating the Travs in 7 of 8 games. So Frisco really has had the Travs number, not just for the second half of the season, but it's been all season. Frisco has just really put a hurting on the Travs here this year. It's been one of the main blocks, and the Travs making a couple of runs as they've just seemed to run into Frisco at the wrong time each time that they've played against them. Well, Frisco certainly watching what's going on in the West Division as Round Rock Express and San Antonio Missions continue to battle back and forth in that West Division race with just 2 games to go. Round Rock has a 2-game lead, and that's because they defeated San Antonio yesterday, and we'll run through that final score as well as the other finals and set up today's action on the Texas League Report. That'll come after a break on the ticket, Total Sports 1380.
I would love a beer. Next time, try the light beer with the taste you won't forget. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Miller, good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ed and I sell soft drinks at ball games. When you first told me about these two powders, we carried big crates and drinks up and down, staying fair. Man, it's killer. And with the backache, that crate gets heavier and heavier. And the stairs are tough on your knees. One night I was ragged, and the game wasn't half over. I told Brian he needs to be seen to help the pain fast. So he goes to work quick. PC stops the pain, and right back to work.
Ready, set, go.
Many runs were scored last night at Wolf Municipal Stadium in San Antonio, Texas, as the Round Rock Express and the Missions battled in the second game of that important four-game series, which will decide the second-half champion in the West Division. Yesterday, Round Rock took one step closer to punching their ticket all the way to the championship series with the first-half division crown already in their pockets. Round Rock just needs to win one more game between tonight and tomorrow afternoon, and then they'll go straight to the championship series, and that's because last night Round Rock pounded out 17 hits and 3 homers in a 13-6 walloping of the Missions. All of Round Rock starting 9 except for first baseman Todd Self, which is interesting enough because he's had their highest batting average this year except for Willie Taveras. Self was the only one without a base hit yesterday. Taveras, meanwhile, went 5 for 5 to raise his Texas League leading average to .339. He might have also just cinched himself the batting crown as Danny Sandoval, the number 2 man, is 17 points behind Taveras. He also scored 4 runs. Brooks Conrad had 4 base hits. Luke Scott, Kevin Ory, and Charlton Jimerson each hit home runs, as really no pitchers fared very well in the ball game. Phil Deavy, the losing pitcher for San Antonio, allowed 7 runs on 7 hits in 3 innings, and Round Rock starter Jared Gautreau didn't make it into the 5th. The winning pitcher was Mike Burns, 2 2/3 relief work of scoreless ball, striking out 4 for his 11th win of the season against just 3 losses. Just to tell you how much offense was in the game yesterday, 31 base hits between the two teams, 8 doubles, and 5 home runs. San Antonio got home runs from Hunter Brown and Jamie Bubella. 3 hours, 41 minutes was the time of game, and they did not go into extra innings. That's 3 hours, 41 minutes to play 9 innings, and that put Round Rock up ahead of San Antonio by 2 games. Elsewhere, El Paso defeated Midland 7-3 to end a 6-game losing streak, and the Tulsa Drillers blanked the Wichita Wranglers 5-0 with Mike Esposito picking up his 10th win on 8 scoreless innings of work, striking out 2. And so the Drillers trying to turn things around. They haven't been playing very well recently, losing 8 of 10 until yesterday. Of course, Tulsa will be opening up at home against Frisco on Tuesday night in Game 1 of the East Division Championship Series. Tonight in the Texas League, out in San Antonio, the Missions have Juan Donier, the right-hander, at 10-9, going up against the strikeout king in the Texas League, Round Rock's Ezekiel Estacio, who has a 12-10 record, and Estacio will be making his final appearance of the season, look to improve upon his league-leading total of 179 strikeouts. And, of course, Round Rock can clinch a spot in the Texas League Championship Series with a win today. San Antonio must win today and tomorrow in order to get a place in the playoffs. Elsewhere, El Paso hosting Midland at a second-to-last game ever in the Texas League history in El Paso. Brad Weiss and Matt Chico, the starting pitchers. Wichita and Tulsa are doing battle at Wichita. That game should have started a few minutes ago, but as usual, we're not getting any updates this early on the Sports Network website, so we can't get you any updates on the games in the Texas League as of right now. Of course, we'll be bringing you as many updates as possible throughout the ball game tonight on both the Texas League and the majors on the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard as we go throughout the broadcast today. For right now, we'll have a break. We'll return with a look at the starting lineups as the Travs and the Frisco RoughRiders get set for Game 3 of a 4-game series. And this is Arkansas Traveler Baseball and the ITT Tech pregame show on the Ticket Total Sports 1380.
got it, others don't. The harder it gets outside, the more you come down on the inside. Nothing compares to starting a game in life. Classic flavors like organic grape soda, real sense of like lemon, onion, strawberry, lime. Flavors to create your very own flavor. Your kind of limited edition on Valley. Available for a limited time only. Nobody can do it. It's not just good, it's Sonic good. There's the line to pick on the way and get the Travis online. www.travis.com. Join the travelers that want to learn the baseball. The friendly website. The Travis game story. Up to date stats. That's the big stages. You'll be informed about the Travis online at Travis.com. Purchase tickets, Travis through the deal, listen to the game.
Ready?
Welcome back to the ITT Tech pregame show on the Ticket Total Sports 1380. Phil Elson with you out here at the ballpark. And let's get to the starting lineups for tonight's action. We'll begin with the hometown RoughRiders, the AA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. They've already clinched a berth in the Texas League Championship Series. They'll be opening at Tulsa on Tuesday night. Frisco 44-24 in the second half. Overall record 80-58. Tonight, the shortstop Ian Kinsler will lead off with center fielder Mike Curry batting second. At third base, Edgar Gonzalez hits third with a cleanup batter Jason Botts at first base. In right field today is Rick Asadorian, and Asadorian bats fifth for the RoughRiders. Designated hitter Rashad Eldridge bats sixth. At second base, Jason Bourgeois, he'll bat seventh, with left fielder Drew Meyer hitting eighth. And the catcher tonight, Brian Esposito, rounds out the Frisco starting nine. Arkansas Travelers tonight have Rudy Gomez at second base leading off. Third baseman Victor Gutierrez bats second. At shortstop, Alberto Callaspo hits third, with the designated hitter Derek Gibson cleaning up. Catching Jeff Mathis, he bats in the 5 spot, with right fielder Christian Guerrero batting sixth. Mike Elwood will bat at seventh. He'll be at first base, with Jason Esposito in left field batting eighth. Center fielder Tommy Murphy rounds out the starting nine. The exact same starting lineup, 1 through 9, same positions as yesterday's Travs lineup. The pitchers in tonight's game, we got left-hander Willie Collazo on the mound for the Travs. His final appearance of the season. It'll be his 32nd game. 5 wins, 10 losses, and a .479 earned run average. Collazo coming off of a victory against the Midland Rockhounds a few days ago, in which he allowed just 1 unearned run on 4 hits in 6 2/3 innings. Collazo's been the Travs' best pitcher in the second half this year. On the mound for the Frisco RoughRiders is right-hander Nick Massett, the prospect coming up from Single A Stockton, a former 8th-round pick out of Key Largo, Florida. Massett started the season on the disabled list and pitched at Single A Stockton, going 6-5 in 16 games. This will be just his second appearance with Frisco and his first start. He won his only appearance 5 days ago coming out of the bullpen, throwing 5 innings of 1 run, 5-hit ball. Massett, only 22 years old, seems to come in pretty big at 6'4", 190 pounds, and he'll throw fastballs in the low to mid-90s. Fans continue to pour into the field at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark. Looks like they got a full house tonight. And just 2 games left in the 2004 season as the Travs and the RoughRiders get set for Game 3 of this 4-game series. We'll have a break. We'll return with the Star-Spangled Banner and the first pitch here from the Giant Soda Bottle in Frisco on the Ticket Total Sports 1380.
High-quality Christian programs for the manufacturing industry, hospitality and food service, medical or dental uniforms, and professional and executive wear. Call 645-7575 for presentations and their enterprise consultants. Also specializes in high-quality cable image, rental mat, and restroom services. Call 645-7575 for enterprise. The official rocket supply of the Arkansas Traveler. One day of Western 1964, based in Vietnam. Surrounded in the far corners of the globe, rising and rising, and served as a sweet power general at the Pentagon. He spent 30 years of distinguished service with his party. But if you're Norman Lieutenant General retired in the United States Air Force, that's just the beginning. Today, he's pursuing a new career as Vice President of
Star Spangled Banner performed at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark by a barbershop quartet-style group. And as they make their way off the field, the Travs head back into their dugouts, and the Frisco RoughRiders take their positions. Frisco in the second year of Texas League Baseball has become a big hit out here in Collin County, where they're averaging about 8,000 paid fans per ball game. Last night they had over 10,000 at the ballpark and really got the crowd going with another 7-3 victory against the Arkansas Travelers. Now tonight they're trying for their 8th consecutive win. And we mentioned it yesterday, this ball club just does not lose at home. The Frisco RoughRiders are 25-11 at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark in the 2004 season, and that's in the second half. Overall at home, 44 wins and only 25 losses, but they just seem to kick it into a higher gear when they're playing against the Travs at Frisco's home ballpark, where in 11 games, Frisco has beaten the Travs 9 times. Many of those games have been blowouts, and as a matter of fact, the Travs have lost 4 games to Frisco by 9 runs or more, though yesterday losing only by 4 runs. Travs did show a little bit by coming back on the RoughRiders, trailed 4-0 after the 4th inning, but made it 4-3. Still, Jason Boss delivered that big 3-run triple to put the game a little bit further out of reach for the Travs. And we'll see what the Travs can do against young Nick Massett, who's only making his second appearance at AA. Massett, who was drafted by the Rangers in 2000, right out of high school, struggled in his first professional season, going 0-6 with the Gulf Coast League Rangers in 2001. Still hasn't had a winning record over his career until this season. With Frisco and Stockton combined, he's gone 7-5 with an ERA in the low 3s. Massett is 6'4", 190 pounds, and hails from Key Largo, Florida. Only 22 years old. And he'll be a big part of the Frisco run in the postseason. Is just another new pitcher out here in Frisco. They've had a couple of guys head up to AAA, and then Chris Young, who was one of their starting pitchers over the first half of the season, just pitched the Texas Rangers to a win in Boston today for his first big league win. But still, the Rangers have been able to send up plenty of talent up here to Frisco to aid in that pitching staff. Massett is the newest one. First pitch strike to start the game to Rudy Gomez, and we are underway at 7:35. Game time temperature in Frisco is 90 degrees. And it doesn't necessarily feel like that. Not much sun in the sky right now as Gomez takes a ball low and outside from Massett. Gomez, Gutierrez, and Callaspo in the Trav half of the first inning. Gomez, the right-handed second baseman, was 1 for 4 yesterday. Massett kicks with a 1-1 pitch, and Gomez shoots it up the middle. That bounces into center field, and Rudy Gomez starts today's game with a leadoff single. Gomez now with a hit in 12 of his last 13, getting that average to 265 with that hit. Number 2 man, Victor Gutierrez, stepping in. As we mentioned, the same starting lineup 1 through 9 for the Travs yesterday. We might expect to see Brent Del Chiaro starting tomorrow. But with only 10 position players left on the roster, there's really not much room for Ty Boykin to make many changes. Gutierrez will slice a pitch out of play on the right side for strike 1. So Gutierrez has found himself at third base a little more often now. That's where he played yesterday. When Casey Smith was with the team, there was a rotation with him, Gomez, and Gutierrez at second base, third base, and even at first a little bit. Massett's 0-1 to Victor is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gutierrez. Victor last night 1 for 4 with a walk. Taking 2 walks in the series with only 1 hit in 7 at-bats. Massett leaning in for the sign, and Gomez takes his lead. Botts will hold him on base. Massett kicks, and the pitch grounded outside third base. That heads to the home dugout. Bounces along the fence. And it's strike 2 to Gutierrez. Still plenty of cars coming into the campus of the ballpark. We usually don't use the word campus to describe a ballpark, but that seems to be the general feeling around here. Campus still under construction. The 1-2 to Vic. Check swing on the slider. They'll appeal it to the first base umpire, Todd Wanders. He says no swing. Good-looking breaking pitch from Mathis. Much slower than the fastballs he's been throwing to Gutierrez in this at-bat. And Victor just able to hold back. Gomez back out to the lead, about 4 steps off. Mathis sets. Here's the 2-2. Gutierrez takes a fastball low and inside. Vic runs a full count on Mathis at 3-2 with Alberto Callaspo waiting on deck. Callaspo seems to have some sort of odd-looking stripe right down the middle of his batting helmet. Maybe his helmet got cracked somehow, but sort of looks like a skunk on his helmet. Gomez runs on the pitch. It's grounded right to the shortstop, Kinsler. He bobbles it, now throws to first base and gets the out on Gutierrez. The bobble cost him a possible double play. Even with Gomez running with the pitch, the ball was hit so crisply and right to the shortstop, Kinsler. He didn't even have to move laterally for the ball, and so he actually had a chance to get the force out at second, but he had to make the play cleanly. Did not do that. So Gutierrez is out 6-3. Gomez in scoring position for Callaspo. And Alberto brings that odd-looking helmet up to the batter's box from the left side. First pitch from Mathis. He'll slice out a play. That'll go into the seats at third base. Strike one of the Travs shortstop. Callaspo in his last 10 games has gone 6 for 39. And that was after a stretch in which he'd been batting around 400 for a couple of weeks. Recently hasn't been making as hard contact as before. The 0-1 pitch is down low, and it's 1-1. It's interesting about Callaspo because a lot of times he doesn't look like he's trying to make hard contact, instead just trying to make contact. Of course, there's a big difference between hitting the ball hard and just hitting it. And it's actually led to more strikeouts than we're used to seeing from Alberto. The 1-1, a ground ball hot to the second baseman, Bourgeois. He'll backhand it and throw to first base. Callaspo hit that one pretty hard, but right to Bourgeois, the second baseman. So both Gutierrez and Callaspo have put the bat right on the ball and hit it on the money, but they've also hit it right to the middle infielders. 2 gone. Gomez has gone from first to third base on the groundouts, and now designated hitter Derek Gibson stands in. Mathis will work from the stretch with Gomez at third. The infield will play back. Big gap in right center for Gibson. Of course, we know he's a pull hitter, and still they're going to pitch him inside. Mathis deals the fastball, and Gibson pops it into the third base seats. That one gets to the concourse level, with fans still coming in from the gate past the left field corner. Heavy concentration of fans walking down that concourse behind the visiting bullpen in left field, and Gibson just made few of them actually pay attention where that ball was coming from. 0-1 the count on Gibson. Derek 1 for 9 in the series, striking out twice. Mathis kicks with the 0-1. Gibson swings and misses. Good-looking pitch on his hands. And the 22-year-old Mathis out ahead of Gibson, 0-2. Derek's average down to 242 over this series. 10 home runs, 26 RBIs. The best deep threat for the Travs with Nick Gorneau promoted to AAA. 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a go-ahead run at third base in the top half of the first inning. Mathis delivers. Gomez will watch it bounce foul out of play by Gibson down the third base line. Still 0-2 on Derek. Wind blowing softly out towards left field, but not really enough to make a difference on a fly ball. Now they'll try outside of Gibson. Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a miss on the slider. Good-looking pitch right to where the catcher Esposito wanted it. Off the outside portion of the plate, and Gibson strikes out to end the first inning. Gomez with that leadoff single makes it to third base and is stranded at third. Bottom of the first coming up in Frisco. No score on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Live from Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark, the Arkansas Travelers going to the bottom of the first inning against the RoughRiders. And Willie Collazo making the final appearance of the season. Collazo has been a welcome surprise for the Travs this year, estimated as a mid to long inning reliever out of the bullpen for the Travs this year, and was inserted into the starting rotation in May. And while he's had some rocky outings here or there, he's also had some of the best outings by a Trav pitcher this season, which includes 2 9-inning complete game shutouts. Although the last one came on July 22nd, and Collazo has dropped 3 of 5 decisions since. There's no doubt at all Collazo has been the Travs' most consistent starting pitcher in the second half. Ian Kinsler leads off and takes a first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Kinsler, a right-handed batter at shortstop, and stands so close to the plate. He stands pretty tall in the box, almost daring the pitcher to hit him. Collazo's pitch is softly hit towards shallow center. Gomez was playing pretty deep into right center field, and he hustles into shallow center and makes the catch. Kinsler trying to dunk that ball into center field for a cheapie, but Gomez apparently doesn't shop at the same stores that Kinsler does. 1 away. Here's Mike Curry, and Edgar Gonzalez will step into the on-deck circle. With Collazo, it seems that once you get past the 3rd inning, you know you're at least getting 7 innings out of Collazo as Curry takes a strike. Curry, left-handed batter. He had a bunt single out of 4 at-bats yesterday. Also walked and scored 2 runs. Corners up, middle back, and a slider from Collazo on the outside corner. And Curry falls behind 0-2. Collazo this year, in 19 starts, has allowed 25 runs in the first and second innings, but has settled down after that. 0-2 to Curry. Is away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The line overall on Collazo, 5 wins, 10 losses, and a 4.79 ERA. The lefty out of Puerto Rico with 153 hits in 139 innings. Curry swings, soft bouncer, right side. Collazo couldn't pick it. Elward does. Collazo covers, and the flip is in time. Not much time to make the decision. Collazo didn't seem like he thought he had a play on the ball because he didn't really reach out for it, but Elward knew he had the better shot at it, and so I couldn't tell if they yelled at each other on what was going to happen, but they seem to have practiced that, about 100 times this year at PFP, pitcher's fielding practice. A nice 3-1 assist at first base, and there's 2 gone and no one on base. Gonzalez, dangerous right-handed batter, takes a strike on the outside corner. So Collazo gets ahead of every batter he faces in this frame. Now the 0-1, and Gonzalez swings and misses. There's the changeup from Collazo, his best pitch. It's all about the changeup with Willie. Of course, in order to pitch effectively with a changeup, you have to set that pitch up. So he has to be accurate with the fastball. And there's the fastball low and inside to Gonzalez. Willie will get a lot of outs on his fastball when he pitches higher in the strike zone. He'll get some strikeouts on pitches at the letters or high and tight to right-handed batters. Here's the 1-2 to Gonzalez. Swung on, fouled away. And it's a pop-up over the first base seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But it seems the bulk of the strikeouts Collazo collects, which is 97 in his 139 innings, comes on the changeup. And he might have Gonzalez set up here for one. And there's a curveball, bounced to third base. Gutierrez reaches up for it on the high bounce. Toss across to Elward is in time. And so Collazo sets down the RoughRiders 1-2-3 in the first inning. So we have a scoreless first for both ends. Top of the second coming up after this on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
managing your blood pressure, and regular exercise. With a little effort on your part, you have the potential to add years to your life. For a free brochure about heart disease, call
Stand by. Ready, set, go.
Frisco's mascot, Deuce, introduced to the crowd here at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark, and they react to Deuce's entrance. Deuce, a big orange fuzzball. I'm not quite sure what kind of animal he is. Actually, now that I remember, he's a prairie dog. Up here amongst the prairies in North Texas, they pay homage to the beautiful little prairie dog with their own mascot at the baseball park. RoughRiders usually use a horse in their logo and on their uniforms. Not much prairie dog sighting, but that's their mascot anyway. Jeff Mathis leads off the second inning and swings at the first pitch from Nick Massett. Harmless fly ball straight to the center fielder Mike Curry for the first out of the second inning. So with that fly out, Mathis 3 for his last 31. And we just hope to see Mathis' batting average get back above at least 230 by the end of the game tomorrow night. You don't want to see a top prospect batting at the 220 level at any level of baseball. AAA, AA, doesn't matter where. You just don't want to see that number on his stat information. Christian Guerrero will foul off the first pitch fastball from Massett for strike one. Well, you look up and down the Travs lineup, and it is amazing to see that Mathis has the lowest batting average amongst the team, 227. This is a guy that was expected to hit at least in the 280s this year, and he was for most of the season. All until second half started. 0-1 to Christian. Bounce toward shortstop. Kinsler comes in to charge it and makes the play, throws across, and retires Guerrero for the second out, and now Massett has retired 5 in a row. 7-hitter and first baseman Mike Elwood stepping up next. Elwood will try to end the season at 270 if he can get a few hits over the next couple of games. His average at 263, 6 home runs, and now Elwood the team leader in the RBI department with Nick Gorneau up at AAA. Gorneau, when he left the Texas League, was amongst the league leaders in RBIs, home runs, was the league leader himself in runs scored, still leads the league with 91 runs scored. Elwood takes a strike on the outside corner. Gorneau had knocked in 81 runs, and then Elwood with 58 RBIs, so there's a bit of a drop-off there. And another strike to Elwood on the slider from Massett, 0-2. Scoreless game, top of the second, and the Travs, the first two batters were sent down here in the inning on only 3 pitches, and Elwood already behind 0-2. Next pitch from Massett, way outside. Went with the breaking pitch, ball 1. It's single A. Massett struck out only 43 batters in 77 innings. Here's the 1-2 to Elwood. Swinging a chopper outside third, and that bounces into the Frisco dugout. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Elwood. Last night, Mike 1 for 2. Got on base 3 different ways. A single, a walk, and was hit by a pitch. The 11th time that Elwood's been hit by a pitch this year. Massett a deep breath as he holds the ball in his glove right in front of his head. Here's the windup in the 1-2. Fastball, knee-high, strike 3 called by home plate umpire Joe Stegner as he rips the cord and sends the Travs to their second consecutive scoreless inning, and Massett has now retired 6 batters in a row. Bottom 2 coming up at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark as you're listening to Arkansas Travelers Baseball with no score on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. cleanup batter Jason Botts leads off the second inning for the Frisco RoughRiders as Willie Collazo throws the first pitch outside for a ball. No score, bottom second. Traz with the only base runner so far. Rudy Gomez started the game with a single. Next 6 batters going down in order as Botts grounds towards second base, and Rudy Gomez is 4 steps to right field. Perfect positioning as he picks it up and throws Botts out, 1 gone. We've seen Gomez positioned at least 3-4 steps into right field on a number of the batters that Frisco puts up there. I might tell you a little bit about this infield surface at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark, which is a little bit harder than most, so the ball will pick up some more speed instead of slow down as it would at Ray Winder Field, which is known as a more softer surface. And so the infield plays a little bit deeper here than it does at other parks. Rick Asadorian, the batter, with a 5-hitter, takes a pitch outside from Collazo. On deck, Rashad Eldridge. We'd like to see nobody on base when Eldridge comes up, especially the way he hits against the Travs. Asadorian fouls the 1-0 pitch straight back, 1-1. Asadorian sat out yesterday after a 1-for-5 effort on Thursday. First at-bat had a double and a run scored, and then he struck out in his last 3 at-bats. Rode the bench yesterday as Titus Meadows took over his spot in right field. Collazo's 1-1, low and inside Asadorian, and it's 2-1. Pretty good outfield for this Rough Rider ball club. They've got a number of players they can just stick out there anytime. Eldridge, Meadows, Curry as well, as there's a pitch fouled at the foot of Asadorian, and he's hopping mad. He's almost 3/4 of the way out to the pitcher's mound, hopping around on that foot. And he'll try to walk that off as Mathis walks Collazo back to the hill. There's Asadorian, Curry, Eldridge, Meadows, all of them fairly good hitters. Curry, the speediest of them. Asadorian probably has the best power-speed combination of the Frisco outfielders. Titus Meadows with the best power of all of them, and then there's Eldridge, who hits for the highest average amongst them. Eldridge on deck swinging at 284, but man, he has just been a terror in the second half. Collazo with a 2-2 pitch to Asadorian. Swung on, popped out of play. That'll get over the first base dugout. 10 rows into the seats. And it remains 2-2 on Asadorian, former first-round pick of the Red Sox, who's since been traded by Boston and by the St. Louis Cardinals. Collazo's 2-2. Fouled off again. Very same place, maybe a few rows deeper this time. Got fans going after that ball with hats, with gloves, with shoes. Still 2-2 as Asadorian has fouled away 3 consecutive pitches. Collazo gets the sign. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball inside, turning Asadorian away. Collazo runs a full count on the 5-hitter. Willie has not allowed a base runner, setting down the first 4. Here's the payoff, and Asadorian will take a 1-out walk. The fastball was low and inside. And so for only the 13th time this season, Rick Asadorian reaches on a base on balls. 38th walk issued by Collazo. And here's Eldridge stepping in. Tonight he's the DH. Switch hitter bats from the right side. Collazo delivers the pitch, and it bounces off of Mathis's foot, rolls away to the left, and there goes Asadorian to second. Well, that'll probably be called a wild pitch, but Mathis just did not catch the ball. It is called a wild pitch, but Mathis didn't even attempt to block it. He really just has looked sluggish at home plate, both at the bat and with the gear on. The 1-0 pitch. Eldridge takes a strike on the outside corner. Eldridge hitting at 284, 2 homers, and 30 RBIs. He was hitting only .207 in the first half. Collazo with a change. Outside corner. Good pitch. Strike 2. Eldridge last night 1 for 2, reaching on a single, a walk. And he was hit by a pitch as well. Collazo sets and deals. Eldridge bounces it high to third base. Victor Gutierrez tries to tag the runner from third, and he misses him. Asadorian running right when he saw the ball beat it into the ground by the batter. Gutierrez had a long way to run in order to make the play. Asadorian streaked in front of him and dove inside the baseline. Gutierrez thought he had made the tag, but third base umpire Paul Chandler disagreed. Call it a fielder's choice. The smart play, you would think, would be for Gutierrez to get the out at first base, which would mean that only Collazo would need 1 out in order to get out of the inning without giving up a run. And now he's going to have to get outs on both Bourgeois and Meyer. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Collazo's first pitch fouled behind the catcher for strike 1. Might have been a case of a player in Gutierrez trying to do a little bit more than he actually needed to do. If that was a situation with nobody out, it would have made more sense to go after the runner if you had a play. Here's the 0-1. Bourgeois pops it up. That's at first base. Elward, plenty of room, straddling the line, and now crosses into fair territory. He makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Now that should be the final out of the inning. But Collazo has to work a little bit harder in order to get that final out, and the left fielder, Drew Meyer, steps in. I think it's amazing to see Meyer playing the outfield, considering that he was a first-round draft pick 2 years ago out of South Carolina as a shortstop. His collarbone injury and the fact that he wasn't producing over the first half of the season has seen his stock drop in the Rangers organization as Ian Kinsler's star has risen to become the top prospect shortstop for the Rangers. Meyer left-handed. First pitch, he'll chop it towards third. Gutierrez plays this one, and this time he throws to first base and retires Meyer. So Collazo had to get basically 4 outs, and he does that. Does not allow a hit. He strands 2 men. 2 innings complete, no score in Frisco. And this is Arkansas Traveler Baseball on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Ready, set, go.
A scoreless game heading into the 3rd inning at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark. The lights have been turned on since the very start of the game, and now they take their full effect with nightfall settling into North Texas. Haven't seen the stars pop up yet, and it's getting so late in the year that the moon cycle, we don't even see the moon until the game is over. Usually see the moon by now, but not this time of the year in August or September, I guess it is. It's still a gorgeous night here in North Texas. No chance of rain today, although there is a little bit of chance of showers on Sunday. Tomorrow, a 20% chance. Better chance on Monday. Travs' Jason Esposito leads off in the third inning and pops away the first pitch for a strike from Nick Mathis. Mathis has sent down the last 6 batters ever since Rudy Gomez started the game with a single up the middle. And Esposito, the 8-hitter, followed by Murphy and then Gomez. Mathis, the big right-hander from Florida, kicks with the 0-1 pitch. Esposito takes ball 1 high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night, Esposito was on base twice, but that was on 2 errors. So still hasn't had more than 1 hit in his last 30 at-bats. A swing and a bouncing ball foul into the first base dugout. That's strike 2. Mathis really mixing up his off-speed pitches with his fastball very effectively. Mechanics seem to be in order, and again, he's tall and slender, throws from straight over the top. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Esposito strikes out. That time Mathis came with a changeup and kept it low. Plus that pitch will sink a little bit. Very nice looking pitch as Mathis strikes out his 3rd and retires his 7th in a row. Center fielder Tommy Murphy stepping up next. Murphy, one of 2 tries with 2 hits yesterday. One of them a bunt single, his 9th bunt hit of the year. Mathis' first pitch in the dirt for a ball. Murphy will bat left-handed against the righty Mathis. Tommy's averaged to .257, 7 homers, 45 RBIs. Mathis winds, rears back, and delivers a fastball. Murphy shoots it towards left center, and it gets in for a base hit. Curry hustles in there, cutting it off. Murphy a wide turn, but streaks back into first base with a 1-out 3rd inning single. Murphy going opposite field with a pitch that was on the outside edge of the plate. Nice approach. And Murphy has his 3rd hit of the series, and the Travs have their 2nd base hit. The 1 and 9 batters had the hits. Gomez started the game with a single to center, and here's Rudy batting with Murphy on base. As sluggish as the Travs offense has been recently, you might expect to see Murphy, the team's best base stealer, trying to get to second base. Not a very big lead on the first pitch, which is dropped by the catcher, and there goes Murphy for second. So you don't have to worry about the steal now. Murphy is in scoring position thanks to the drop pitch by the catcher, Esposito. Charge a pass ball on Esposito. That was a sweeping breaking ball that Mathis threw a little bit further outside than it looked like he wanted to, and Esposito still was set up off the outside corner of the plate. Could have caught it. Tried to backhand the pitch, and Plain dropped it. It got by him. So Gomez has a duck on the pond and try to give the Travs a lead in the 3rd. Gomez knocked in Arkansas's first 2 runs yesterday with a single in the mid-innings. Maybe he can do the same thing today. Big gap in left center field as Mathis settles in. And the 1-0 pitch to Gomez is fought off and fouled away. That gets over the bullpen in right field. Trav relievers milling around along with the Boykin brothers in that bullpen, sitting amongst the crowd. Of course, the bullpens are situated much differently here than they are in any other ballpark. Sitting right inside the seating area. 1-1 to Gomez. Fastball hits him on the right elbow. And Gomez reaches base. Down he goes to first. Looked like Mathis came inside with a fastball, and while Rudy, as every batter does, takes a step forward and starts to trigger in his swing, he was going to hold back on it. But his elbows were still out in front of his body, and so that means he gets hit. So Gomez singled in the first, he's plunked in the 3rd. Here's Gutierrez with another chance to put the Travs ahead. He batted in the first inning with a runner on base and grounded out to short. Runners go on the first pitch, and Gutierrez grounds it to second. Bourgeois will throw to first base and get the out on Gutierrez. Boy, if Kinsler, the shortstop, was a little bit quicker on the draw, that might have had a chance to turn too. But with Gomez and Murphy surprising the infielders by running, Kinsler a little bit late to react. The ball was tailor-made for a double play, but only if the shortstop covered. Callaspo with another shot. And he'll bat with 2 on base, 2 outs. Mathis' curveball on the first pitch is a strike called inside corner. Callaspo in the first inning had Gomez at second base, and he grounded out to second base. Callaspo 2 for 10 in the series. No RBIs. Mathis' 0-1 pitch is away for a ball, 1-1. Callaspo entering today at 284. 6 homers, 48 runs batted in. Gomez at second, Murphy at third. The 1-1. And it's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. That piece of white tape from the top to the back of Alberto's helmet just is driving me nuts. I've never seen anybody step up with a long white line from the top of their helmet to the end of it. The 2-1 from Mathis. Callaspo takes low, and it's 3-1. I'm just trying to think back. I haven't seen Callaspo get hit in the head. Of course, there's all sorts of things you don't see in the dugouts, meaning players sometimes take their bats to helmets. Of course, helmets, a lot of times the first things to get thrown after a strikeout. 3-1, Alberto swings and grounds it foul. Bounces slowly to the visiting dugout, rolls away now, and it's a 3-2 count to the Travs shortstop. Callaspo isn't much of a helmet thrower, nor does he really just toss equipment at any time at all. A very happy-go-lucky sort of ball player. Never really seems to let his performance affect his ability to have fun and have a good attitude about the game. Esposito and Mathis, they're getting their signs crossed up, so they have a talk about this on the mound to get the signs down. Esposito returns to the catcher's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Callaspo. Tommy Murphy at third base, Rudy Gomez at second. No score in the third. Here's the payoff. Callaspo fouls it off. A high fly towards the bullpen and left. Jason Andrew, yesterday's final pitcher for Frisco, tried to play the ball with his foot, hacky sack style. I've never seen anybody try to do that before. That's something that doesn't make much sense. You're given a glove. Hey, even try to catch it with your hat. I'll give you $3,000 if you catch the ball with your shoes. 3-2, and Callaspo grounds it to second base. Bourgeois hustles over there, gets in front of it, scoops it up, and throws Callaspo out. Travs get a couple of men on base on a hit and a hit batsman, but 2 men left in scoring position. Still scoreless, bottom 3 on the way. From Dr. Pepper 7 at Ballpark in Frisco, this is Traveler Baseball on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Now that the baseball season is here again, moms everywhere begin scouting for delicious recipes and homemade extra innings to make, like Del Monte potato salad. Simply combine a family-size can of Del Monte frozen potatoes with a quarter cup of diced celery and a quarter cup of chopped red onions. Toss it together with some creamy ranch dressing, and you've got a quick score. Del Monte steps under the plate with 17 times mission.
Stand by. Ready, set, go.
Arkansas Travelers and Frisco RoughRiders with no score heading into the bottom of the third inning at the giant soda bottle. Prairie Dog mascot Deuce doing his usual flim-flammery as he runs through the crowd, entertaining everybody, and Willie Collazo was ready to throw his first pitch, but instead he has to let the mascot finish his display, and now he can finally throw that first pitch, which is hit by Brian Esposito high into right field, and Christian Guerrero gets out there to make the catch. One away in the third inning. Collazo has not allowed a hit in 2 and the third innings, though one man reached in the second on a walk and the other on a fielder's choice. And so we get to the top of the Frisco order as shortstop Ian Kinsler getting his second at bat. Collazo will wind up, and the left-hander deals to Kinsler, and he flies it towards right center field. Guerrero running after to the gap, and he closes it and gets there. 2 outs on a fine running catch by Guerrero. Last couple of days, Christian has had some trouble getting out into that gap quickly on fly balls, just like Kinsler hit. Fly balls that seem to have force behind it, not all that high, not necessarily a line drive, but definitely have enough juice to get to the gap for extra bases. That one hung up in the air a little bit more and gave Guerrero a chance to get out there. So 2 outs on 2 pitches in the bottom half of the third. Collazo will now face Mike Curry, the center fielder, who shows bunt and takes a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Curry grounded out to the first baseman Elwood in his first inning at bat. And he'll ground one foul outside first here for a strike 2. Willie Collazo won his last outing, tossing 6 2/3 effective innings, but just allowed 1 run, which was unearned. 4 hits over that time. The 0-2 pitch to Curry called for strike 3. There's that changeup from Collazo on the outside corner, and he retires Frisco 1-2-3 in the third inning. And only 1 man made it on base for Frisco in 3 frames. Problem is the Travs haven't scored yet. So no score heading into the fourth on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
2 hours. Featuring rib dinners, barbecue sandwiches, gourmet sandwiches, catfish, burgers, choice steak, country fried steak, chicken, and more. Your whole family will enjoy Big and Chick. There's a kids menu for the little ones. And now, for those watching those cards, Big and Chick features a low-carb menu with the same great taste Big and Chick is famous for. Dine in or carry out. For large groups and parties, Big and Chick caters too. Big and Chick, 7824 Highway 107 in Sherwood. Open 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Looking for the perfect stack to go along with the game? Pick up America's #1 food grade. You get a home run with your family. With more than 300 varieties of food made right here in America, there are endless ways to cave with the crave. Stop by your local burger Friday and have a big mouth-watering appetizer that the entire family's going to love. The perfect snack will come in anything, and you'll be a winner with your family. Power of food.
Get out today and get the link. Still Lake. Still Lake Golf Course is rated as one of the best public courses in the state. Sporting beautiful vet grass greens, plus light fairways and tees. Still Lake has matured over the past 3 years into a true cast of gold. Still Lake features reasonable green speed and 18 lake-style holes. Look at 1 mile, 5-4-20 on Palm
Stand by. Ready, set, go.
3 innings are in the books here at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark. No score, not yet. The Arkansas Travelers have recorded the only 2 base hits of the game. Tommy Murphy and Rudy Gomez each with a single. The Travs have had some scoring chances, leaving 3 men in scoring position. Meanwhile, Frisco, he only had 1 man reach as far as third base. Derek Gibson leads off the 4th for the Travs against Nick Massett. The young right-hander has struck out 3 batters. Gibson was his first victim, a first-inning strikeout, ending that frame. Gibson starts this inning by taking a first-pitch fastball for strike 1. 5-hitter Mathis on deck, followed by the 6-man Christian Guerrero. Massett has been using mostly fastballs, off speed here and there. Gibson, a high drive deep down the corner in left field, but that gets out of play to the wrong side of the pole. Boy, that one was hit a ton over the bullpen and at least 100 feet behind the bullpen, but fouled by a wide margin, so it's 0-2 on Derek. Massett with a leg kick and a slider outside. The breaking pitch isn't quite as sharp, but that's the pitch that he got Gibson to swing and miss for the final out of the first inning. More of a sweeping kind of a slider, down and away to the right-hander, not so much across. The 1-2, Gibson pops it up towards the dugout at third base. Esposito, the catcher, the closest to it, but he doesn't have a play. It's about 7 rows deep. Still 1-2 on Derek. The strikeout of Gibson in the first inning means that he's gone 1 for 10 with 3 strikeouts in this series. You know, the Travs have needed Gibson to provide some power. Frisco has controlled Derek's bat, hitting about 150 against them in 15 games. Here's a long fly ball deep down the corner in left field again, and that is foul. Derek broke his bat on that last swing, and he'll walk into the dugout slowly, as usual, with that very laid-back approach for Derek. A new bat was tossed out from the dugout, and so he'll slather some pine tar on it right in front of Mathis. Massett forced to wait a little bit as Derek finally gets the bat to his liking. Sticky enough in all the right places. Derek never seems to be in any kind of hurry. A very emotionally controlled man. Derek steps back in there and waves the bat around. The count is 1-2. Massett delivers the next pitch, and it hits Gibson. Well, that might have been a little bit of a statement by Massett. Derek literally took about 2 minutes once he broke that last bat. And that will annoy pitchers quite a bit. They want to get into a groove and start to feel more comfortable out on the mound, find a rhythm, and with batters taking a lot of time between pitches, it's not been above pitchers to shout at that batter every once in a while, hey, get back in there. Either that or they'll just hit him. Now, I'm not saying Massett intentionally hit Gibson, but I don't think it would be out of the realm of possibility. So Gibson at first base. Massett has hit 2 of the last 4 men. Gomez was plunked in the 3rd inning, and now Gibson starts off the 4th getting hit. Mathis takes a pitch low for ball 1. See if Massett has any kind of history hitting batters throughout his career. Not really. Never hit any more than 9 batters in one season, and that's average amount of hit batters. 1-0 the count on Mathis. He fly to center in the 2nd. The next pitch, he'll swing and miss at the fastball from Massett. Registered that at 94 miles an hour on the radar gun in right center field. The ball strikes out, and the line score and running totals are kept on a scoreboard in right center field, flanked by a couple of billboards. And the mile per hour reading one of those billboards. 1-1 to Mathis. Downstairs, 2-1. Out in left center field is where the Frisco video board is located, and 2 billboards flanking them. Many, many fans sitting underneath the video board and the scoreboard as the picnic berms have been loaded up. A lot of picnic blankets brought out, many kids sitting around with their parents milling around. 2-1 pitch, chopped towards short, could be 2. Kinsler takes it, steps on second for 1, throws to first. Double play. 6-3 as Mathis erases Gibson from the bases. Mathis was jammed on the pitch, got on top of it, and beat it into the ground. One of those high choppers just to the left of second. Christian Guerrero now bats with the bases empty and 2 gone. Still no score, top 4, and Guerrero takes a fastball for strike 1. Outside corner, good-looking pitch. Guerrero 0 for 1 today on a ground out to short in the second. Massett delivers, and the changeup, he didn't hold on too long enough. It sails above Christian's head and hits the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Massa's control, although the numbers aren't that bad, seems to have some trouble locating a pitch now and then, and it just gets away from him. The 1-1. Guerrero swings, lines it foul the other way, gets into the seats behind first base. In between a couple of the chateaux, so that heads all the way to the walking path area, which is behind the chateaus out by the concession stands. Dirt paths ring this ballpark. You won't find dirt paths in many new parks. 1-2 to Christian. Slider outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Traveler right fielder. He's batting .272 in his 52 games with the Travs. Remember, he was hitting in the .210 region with San Antonio before the trade from Seattle. 2-2 count. And the next pitch, Christian swings, bouncer to the mound, played by Massett on a hop. Throws to first base, and the inning is over. So the Travs got the leadoff man on base for the second time, but still could not bring him in. No score in Frisco on the bottom of the 4th on the way. On the ticket, Total Sports 1380.
Bob, carpenter. Smart, even pro. He wants the best for his family. What does he do? Join the union. Bob knows that a union carpenter maximizes his earning power, gets family insurance, and a pension plan he can count on. Plus, a union carpenter has access to union training, learning new skills and advancing his career. Carpenters, pile drivers, floor layers, and millwrights. Join now and start enjoying the benefits. Call the Arkansas Regional Council of Carpenters at 501-568-2500 for more information. Hey, what are you doing? What's that mean? We're out of Coke. Sorry, first one idolified by the other. Coke, you're right. Y'all calling Stewart, jump the green flag again. Hey, stop throwing cereal boxes at me. Whatever, stop drafting my car. Yes, sir. Think you buy me that Coke? NASCAR fans have a one-track mind. Casey Coke says I think she's a registered Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real. Here's the line that's sitting on the way. You can catch the Travs online at www.travs.com. The Arkansas Travs have one of minor league baseball's most user-friendly websites with easy access to Travs games and noise, up-to-date stats, Texas League standings. You'll be informed about the Travs online at Travs.com. Purchase tickets, Travs souvenirs, listen to the game.
Stand by.
Hey, think about...
Ready, set, go.
Welcome back to Collin County here in Texas, where the Travs and the Frisco RoughRiders scoreless into the bottom of the 4th inning at the Giant Soda Bottle. Phil Elson with you tonight. Back at the studios, Michael Watts. Traveler Baseball on the ticket. Total Sports 1380 brought to you by Miller Lite. If you're counting carbs, Miller Lite contains half the carbs of Bud Light, and Miller Lite tastes great. It'll be Edgar Gonzalez leading off the 4th inning. Willie Collazo hasn't allowed a hit yet. Gonzalez gets under a pitch, a high fly ball, shallow center. Murphy charging in, and he gets there to make the catch for out number 1. Collazo retired the first 4 batters that he faced in the 1st and 2nd innings before walking Rick Asadorian. And then Rashawn Eldridge reached on the fielder's choice when Gutierrez tried to tag Asadorian on his way to 3rd but missed him. That was not a base hit. Collazo since then has retired 6 men in a row. Here's Botts, the switch hitting first baseman. Collazo starts him with a change, low and in. Botts was aggressive in the 2nd inning when he grounded out on the 2nd pitch. Second baseman Gomez now about 6 steps towards right field, and the pitch fouled off by Botts. 1-1. Gomez has been playing about 3 steps into right field with most other hitters, but with Botts, who hits the ball with great authority on the ground or in the air, Gomez stays a little safer by staying as far back as he is. That is 6 steps into the outfield. Botts, a high drive deep to left field. That one going back to the wall, and it is gone, and Frisco gets ahead on the homer by Jason Botts. Number 24 of the season. First base hit for the Frisco RoughRiders is a home run by Jason Botts. 1-0 RoughRiders. High arcing fly ball over the 364 mark in left center field, got over the berm and landed in the concourse behind that picnic berm. Rick Asadorian was the only other batter to reach base safely before Botts' long one, and Asadorian swings and misses at Collazo's changeup. Botts' home run, the 7th that he has hit against the Travs. A .306 batter with 7 homers and 23 RBIs against Arkansas pitchers. 0-1 to Asadorian. Collazo's fastball hit on the line, drive to left field. That gets in for a base hit. Over towards the line, Esposito cuts it off. Asadorian tries for 2. Here's the throw, and he's out at second base. Esposito's throw was behind second, but Rudy Gomez went down to a knee. He picked it off the dirt and reached behind him right as Asadorian slid into the tag. Call it a single for the right fielder Asadorian. To left field, the out at second base recorded 7-4. 2 gone, and nobody on base for Eldridge. First pitch, a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Collazo works quickly from the windup and misses low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eldridge bounced a high chopper in the second inning to Gutierrez at third. Asadorian was at second base then and streaked past Victor's tag. 1-1 pitch. Eldridge swings and misses. There's the changeup again, and it's 1-2. Collazo kicks. A fastball just a bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Eldridge. The home run off Collazo. The 11th he's allowed this year. And he takes care of Eldridge on the outside corner with a fastball, and the inning is over. Well, Frisco strikes first. Get the home run from Botts, and it's 1-0 RoughRiders. We go to the 5th inning on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Botts, who hits the ball with great authority on the ground or in the air. Gomez stays a little safer by staying as far back as he is. That is 6 steps into the outfield. Botts, a high drive deep to left. One going back to the wall, and it is gone, and Frisco gets ahead.
But here's a thought. Visit your local John Deere dealer or test drive. Sit in that yellow seat and feel that rugged quality. Then run the numbers. You may find you underrated the value of a John Deere and overrated the value of patience. After all, nothing works like a deal. Test drive the...
Ready? Set.
1-0 RoughRiders heading into the top of the 5th inning at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark. The Arkansas Travelers on 2 base hits have not scored a run. They've left 3 runners all in scoring position. Frisco getting 2 hits, all of them in the bottom of the 4th. A homer by Botts, followed by the single from Asadorian. Mike Elward leads off the 5th against Nick Mathis. Mathis striking out 3 batters in his first 4 innings. He's hit 2 batters, allowed 2 hits, and had 1 double play turn behind him. Elward will take a first pitch low for ball 1. Elward, Esposito, and Murphy scheduled to hit against Massett in the 5th inning. Remember, Massett only went 5 innings in his last time out. Here's the 1-0. Slider inside, 2-0. Elward called out on strikes in the 2nd inning, meaning he's now 2 for 7 in this series. 2-0 the count. Massett finds the sign, steps back, kicks and deals. Elward takes a slider low and away. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Only 19 walks in 77 innings at single A for Massett, as here's his 3-0. Fastball a little high, ball 4. There goes Elward down the line to first base, and that's the 2nd consecutive leadoff man to reach base for the Travs. Gibson hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, but then he was forced out on a double play. With Massett making just his 18th appearance of the year after missing the first couple of months of the season on the disabled list, and being that in single A the Rangers use a piggyback-style pitching rotation as a pitch to Esposito bounces away from the catcher, goes behind him now, and Elward around second. He tries for 3. Here comes the throw to third, and it gets behind the third baseman. It is backed up by the shortstop. Elward, the slowest member of the club, goes first to third on a wild pitch. Very aggressive base running, and that is a big, big base that Elward just caught up on. Now they can tie the game if Esposito can hit a fly ball. And it looks like they'll even give up the run on a ground out as the infield plays back. Esposito struck out in the 3rd inning, 1 for his last 31. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jason. Jason's averaged below 235 now. 8 homers, 41 RBIs. Massett's 1-1. Swung on, chopped to the right side. This will score the run. Bourgeois picks it in the gap and throws to first base, retiring Esposito. RBI ground out brings in Elward, and the game tied 1 apiece. So Massett's wildness, plus the fact that Esposito had such a long way to run to get back to the screen on that wild pitch, directly gives the Travs a run on the ground out. Murphy steps in. Tommy singled to left center field in the 3rd inning. First pitch here. He'll take it outside for ball 1. I mentioned Massett at single A Stockton. And that piggyback starting rotation never had to go more than 5 innings until the month of August. Swing and a miss by Murphy, and the count 1-1. So he's not very used to carrying games this late. Already there is action in the Frisco bullpen. They got a left-hander getting ready. Nick Massett's 1-1 to Tommy Murphy, just a little low, 2-1. That left-hander is veteran Justin Thompson, who's been trying to fight his way back to the major leagues after surgery on his left arm a couple of years ago cost him 2 years. And Thompson warming up in that pen. Here's the 2-1 to Murphy. Swung on, hit high to left field. Going back, Drew Meyer still back at the warning track, at the fence. It's over his head. Murphy coasting into second. A 1-out double for Murphy, and Meyer, you could tell he's a shortstop playing in left field. He very awkwardly went back on the ball. Gave up on it once he realized he was close to the fence. And it still looked like an experienced outfielder with a good understanding of how to play the warning track had a better shot to bring that one in. Credit Murphy with his second base hit, a single and a double. And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position for the top of the order. Murphy's double is 24th. Now Gomez steps in, a single, and reached first on a hit by pitch in the third. Pickoff throw to second. Murphy almost caught. He gets in there. Massett caught Murphy leaning the wrong way, but Tommy was able to react quickly enough in order to get back into second base, and it keeps a chance alive to take a lead. Travs haven't led in any part of any game in this series yet. Lost 10-0 2 nights ago, and they were down 4-0 before they scored yesterday. Massett throws a slider to Gomez, and it's high, ball one. The game tied at 1 as the Travs fight back in the top of the 5th inning. Jason Botts put Frisco ahead in the 4th with his 24th home run of the year. A fake pickoff throw to second base as Kinsler never covered. Murphy ducked underneath what he thought was going to be a throw. 1 ball, no strikes on Gomez. 38 runs batted in on the season for Rudy. 2 of them yesterday. 1-0 pitch, fastball low and in. 2 balls, no strikes to the Trav leadoff hitter. A large gap in left center field for Gomez. Murphy off 5 steps. Good lead. Massett's pitch, low and outside, 3-0. Third time through the order, Massett struggled with his own command, hitting 2 batters, walking another, and throwing a wild pitch. And now as he starts the order for the 3rd time, he's fallen behind Gomez 3-0. Gutierrez on deck then. Callaspo, 1 out. And 3-0 to Gomez. Ball low and outside, and that's a 4-pitch walk, sending Gomez on. Rudy reaches base for the 3rd time in 3 tries. And with Massett struggling here in the 5th inning, 2 walks, wild pitch, a double, and a run. Steve Luber, the Frisco pitching coach, makes his first visit, not just of today's game. I believe it's only the 2nd time that Luber's had to go out to the mound to have a conference with a pitcher. And in this series, Frisco hasn't had much reason to have anybody head out to the mound, though yesterday Edwin Moreno was visited in the middle innings as he started to struggle. Now it's Massett, who is the one visited by Luber. Both walks in this 5th inning, 4-pitch walks. Now Massett will look to get a double play at the bat of Victor Gutierrez. And Victor has 8 ground balls to second and shortstop in 2 chances today. Travs 1, RoughRiders 1, top of the 5th. Vic steps in there. Gutierrez 16 for his last 37. That's an average over 400. First pitch here. He'll take it. A strike at the knees. Massett backed the fastball up. Motion back inside towards the right-handed hitter, and it also dove a little bit. Good movement on that stuff. 0-1 the count. 15 RBIs for Gutierrez in 56 games of the Travs. Massett checks the runners, and the 0-1 pitch. Victor fouls it off the plate. Strike 2. Massett trying to keep the game tied. You get the sense he's not coming back out for the 6th inning anyway, not with Frisco's bullpen starting to warm up just as this inning began. There go the runners on the 0-2 pitch. A strike 3 called. Here's the throw to second base. Gomez is out at second base, and the Travs run themselves out of a chance to take the lead. The hit and run turns into disaster as the double play ends the 5th inning. Traps settle for 1 run on 1 hit and 1 man stranded at third base. Bottom of the 5th on the way here at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark with the game tied at 1 on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Smart shoppers and Yellow. Not the other books. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-WHITE-YELLOW.
Welcome back to Frisco's Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark as we're tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Jason Bourgeois leading off in the 5th for the RoughRiders. Willie Collazo back on the mound, allowing only 2 hits in 4 innings, but both of them came in the 4th. 1 home run, 1 single. Bourgeois will take a pitch outside, ball 1. There's been a change in the lineup for Frisco as the right fielder Asadorian has been taken out of the ball game. Precautions for the foul ball he'd hit off his foot in the 4th inning. Actually hit that off his foot in the 2nd inning. Ground ball foul, and that's nothing. 1-1 on Bourgeois. Bourgeois, the second baseman, popped out in the 2nd inning. Collazo works in the windup. The lefty's 1-1 is inside. 2-1. So Asadorian is out of the game, and that means that they've inserted Andrew Beinbrink into his spot in the 5-hole. Beinbrink plays left field. Bourgeois, high fly foul, left field. That gets over all the Chateaus for strike 2. So Beinbrink again will be batting 5th. Beinbrink takes over in left field. So now Frisco actually has 2 infielders in the outfield, Beinbrink and Meyer. Pitch low and in to Bourgeois, full count. Remember yesterday Titus Meadows hit a ball off his foot, and he was hopping around as well. So that might be the reason he's not playing today. Bourgeois swings, high fly left field, a speeder right there for it. And there's 1 away. Let's check out some scores in the Texas League, see what's going on. Top of the 5th inning in San Antonio, the Round Rock Express needing 1 win to clinch a berth in the Texas League Championship Series. 5th inning, Round Rock leads the Missions 4-1. Bottom of the 4th in Wichita, the Tulsa Drillers and the Wranglers are scoreless. El Paso and Midland just started off their affair there in the 2nd inning in El Paso, no score. Now Meyer, the new right fielder, takes a pitch low and away for a ball. Meyer grounded out in the 2nd inning. He's 3 for 9 in the series. Collazo winds up, and the pitch grounded down the third base line. Foul. A half swing by Meyer, and he didn't even make contact. More or less, he was trying to get out of the way of a pitch which was headed for him. And the bat got in the way. 1 ball, 1 strike on Meyer, a 240 hitter. 2 homers, 13 runs driven in. Collazo deals the pitch. Meyer bunts it down the third base line. It rolls foul up the grass. Strike 2. Travs 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Frisco 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Over the last 4 ball games, the Travs have been outscored 37-10, keeping it close in the early going today. The 1-2, low and inside to Meyer, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Meyer had a chance to put Frisco ahead in the second inning with 2 on and 2 outs, but grounded out to third. Now the base is empty and 1 out. The 2-2 is low. Collazo runs a count on Meyer full in the 5th inning. Mathis, the catcher, sets up outside. The pitch is chopped down the line at first base. Rolling foul. Paul Carey, the batting coach for the RoughRiders, picks it up, scoops it, and lightly sends it into the crowd. Still 3-2 as Collazo deals this pitch, and it's chopped towards second base. Gomez is there to pick it up. He'll throw to first base for out number 2. Some scores from the major leagues. Of course, there's been 2 games postponed in Florida. Tampa Bay and Detroit have been postponed, so the Marlins and the Cubs. In fact, the entire Cubs-Marlins series has been postponed because of the hurricane churning through South Florida. Expected to run through the entire state over the next day. Tampa Bay and Detroit might be playing tomorrow in their domed stadium. They don't have to worry about the rain, but they do have to worry about getting people to the ballpark and staying safe. Esposito, the batter, takes a pitch low. He's 0 for 1 on a fly out in the 3rd. And he hits a sharp grounder. Third base, Gutierrez down the line, makes a nice backhand play, gets up and tosses across to retire the side in order. So Willie Collazo giving the Travs 5 very strong innings. Arkansas 1, Frisco 1, heading into the 6th inning on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Five innings, and the pitchers controlling this one so far. 1 run apiece for Arkansas and the Frisco RoughRiders. And the Riders dig into the bullpen already to start the 6th inning. They bring Justin Thompson out from the pen to relieve Nick Massett. So Massett in his first Double-A start and second Double-A appearance works 5 innings, gives up just the 1 run. It is an earned run. Biggest problem for Massett seemed to be his own control. He walked 2 batters, hit 2 others through a wild pitch, which led to the run. Massett only gave up 3 base hits. 3 strikeouts for him as well. Massett stands as a no decision today. Thompson, the veteran left-hander, 31 years old, out of Spring, Texas. You'll remember Thompson as an all-star from the 1997 season with the Detroit Tigers. and trying to get back to the major leagues where he hasn't been since the since the 99 campaign. Callaspo leads off, takes a strike on the outside corner. Alberto grounded out twice to the second baseman. Now he bats right-handed and lines a single in the left field. Leadoff man on for the third consecutive inning. The Travs have scored him once. Thompson, I mentioned, last pitched in the majors in the 1999 campaign with Detroit. 5.11 ERA, 9 wins that season. He was then traded by the Tigers in the same deal that garnered Texas Gabe Kapler, Francisco Cordero, their all-star closer this year. Frank Catalanato came over in that trade. Same deal which sent Juan Gonzalez and Greg Zahn up to the Tigers. The trade did not work out for Detroit, not at all. Derek Gibson bats and takes a low fastball, 1-0. At first, it didn't look like that trade was working out for Texas either, as Gabe Kapler didn't produce as well as was expected. Cordero got to the major leagues only last year, as a strike to Gibson makes it 1-1. It's only this year that Cordero's become the all-star closer. And Thompson still hasn't pitched a game with the Rangers. Been various parts of their minor league system after injuries cost him the entire 2000 season and most of the 2001 year. Gibson chops to short. Kinsler plays it. Bounces it to second base. Bourgeois picks it one-handed and goes to first for the out. Double play. 6-4-3. Not the prettiest looking double play. Kinsler made Bourgeois work pretty hard to get the force out at second, flipping behind the second baseman, but he barehanded the ball and threw to first. So for the second time in 3 innings, the Travs get the leadoff man on base and have him erased on a double play. So Thompson's been with Frisco for the entire season this year, making his 23rd appearance, all out of the pen. 3 wins, 1 loss, and a .243 earned run average. Now Mathis steps in. Jeff is 0 for 2. Fly to center in the second. Grounded into a double play in the fourth. First pitch here, he'll ground it up the middle, and it's a base hit for Mathis. Only the 4th base hit in his last 33 at-bats. A 2-out single in the 6th inning. And the Travs have their 5th base hit of the game. We've been promising some major league scores, but the last couple of innings have shot by so quickly. Maybe we can get to them in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And there's also a problem with the internet hookup here in Frisco, and the high-speed internet isn't very high speed right now, so web pages are loading very slowly. There goes Mathis running with the first pitch, and Guerrero grounds it right side. It gets past Bourgeois, goes to right field. There goes Mathis to third. Right fielder Meyer gets to the ball, and now Mathis tries to score. Here he comes, and he will score. There goes Guerrero to second base, and he's going to get thrown out. What a ridiculous-looking play with Mathis basically scoring from first base on a base hit to right field. Nothing more than a single for Guerrero. The right fielder Meyer, who's an infielder, might have overrun the ball, but I couldn't quite see. It looked like he picked it up cleanly. The out at second base ends the inning as Guerrero is thrown out after knocking in the go-ahead run. Travs 2, Frisco 1. Bottom 6 on the way. On the ticket, Total Sports 1380.
5. Ready, set, go.
A very odd play ended the 6th inning for the Arkansas Travelers, in the very same play in which Jeff Mathis scores from first base on a single into right field. Guerrero was thrown out trying to get into second on the throw home. The out at second was recorded 7-1-4, with the pitcher getting the frontline assist. Guerrero is awarded an RBI single into right field. Mathis scored because the right fielder Meyer just held onto the ball. He didn't overrun it. He didn't drop it. He didn't make a bad throw. He just held onto the ball. And Mathis, I think, was surprised when Ty Boykin waved him around. Heck, I was surprised. So the Travs have their first lead of the series, 2-1. Willie Collazo, the best man, I think, to have the job of holding the lead. Will deliver a pitch low to the leadoff batter, Ian Kinsler. Next pitch is also low, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. The Travs had 3 base hits in the 6th inning. Did not leave anybody on base. And again, Mathis scoring from first on a single that just barely got past the second baseman. There's a strike to Kinsler. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to second, lined out to right. Collazo's pitch fisted into high right center field. Charging Murphy and Guerrero. Guerrero gets there first and makes the catch one-handed, 1 away. Now let's get to some of those Major League scores. We'll get you through the finals first. Giants rallied late, scoring 8 unanswered runs after the 6th inning, and San Francisco downs Arizona 9-7. Marquise Grissom hit his 19th home run of the year. Barry Bonds a couple of hits. Phillies blanked the Mets 7-0 on 3 hits, with Corey Lytle earning his 9th win. Jimmy Rollins homered for the 9th time. Now here's Curry stepping in. He's 0 for 2. Corners draw in as he swings and fouls one at the plate for strike 1. Baltimore downs the Yankees 7-0. A 2-hit shutout thrown by Sidney Ponson. Rafael Palmeiro hit his 15th home run of the season. Brian Roberts and Jay Gibbons also went deep for the Orioles. The Yankees stayed 2.5 in front of the Red Sox as Texas ends the Boston 10-game winning streak, 8-6 at Fenway. Foul off by Curry, 0-2. And the winning pitcher for Texas was Chris Young, who started this year in the Frisco rotation. His first major league win ended Boston's 10-game winning streak. That's pretty impressive. Now the 0-2 from Collazo. Slowly grounded towards third, charging Gutierrez. He charges, gloves it, throws on the run, and gets the out at first. Gutierrez started his charge a little late as he tried to line himself up with the ball, and he took the right angle, got the ball quickly to Elworth. 5-3 goes the assist at first base, and Collazo was retired. The last 6 batters in order. Other finals in the American League: Oakland over Toronto 9-5. The A's were down by a score of 5-2 heading into the 8th inning. They scored twice in the 8th and 5 runs in the 9th. Chris Hammond, the winner. Cash, a home run for Toronto. Pitch low to Gonzalez, who's 0 for 2. Travs have a 2-1 lead. Base is empty. And Collazo finds the outside corner with a fastball. 1-1 to Gonzalez. Final out of Minnesota. 4-3. Twins beat Kansas City with Terry Tiffey leading off the bottom of the 9th inning with a walk-off home run. His first major league home run wins the game for the Twins. There's a bouncing ball by Gonzalez, right side. Gomez charges at second base. He'll flip it to Elwood at first on the run. And another perfect inning for Collazo. He's had 4 perfect innings today in 6 innings of 2-hit, 1-run ball. Travs take a 2-1 lead into the top of the 7th inning at Dr. Pepper's 7-Up Ballpark. On the ticket, Total Sports 1380. 6 innings have been completed already at Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark, and the Travs have the lead 2-1 against the RoughRiders. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Travelers, and the RoughRiders 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. A well-played game for the Travs today as they attempt to end a 4-game losing streak and get into the win column for just the 3rd time in 12 tries in Frisco. Frisco starting pitcher Nick Mathis lasted 5 innings. Justin Thompson allowed the go-ahead run in the 6th inning on 3 hits. And Frisco brings on their 3rd pitcher of the night. Stephen Rowe makes his team-leading 54th outing of the year. Rowe, 8 wins, 2 losses in 53 outings, a 364 earned run average. Rowe stands 6'3", 216 pounds, 24 years old, out of Lubbock. Bottom 3rd of the order to face Rowe in the 7th inning. It'll be Elward, Esposito, and Murphy. Rowe, a right-hander who works from the stretch. Elward fouls off the first pitch behind the plate, out of play. Strike 1. Mike Elward scored the first Arkansas run, drew a leadoff walk from Massett in the 5th inning. Made his way to third base on a wild pitch. Scored on a ground out by Esposito. 0-1. Slider away from Rowe. 1 ball, 1 strike. No one warming up in the Arkansas bullpen as Willie Collazo is pitching very well. One to Elward downstairs. 2-1. Out of the bullpen tonight, you'll probably see Rowenhurst or Andrade come out in the 8th or 9th innings. 2-1. Elward, a soft liner. Kinsler leaps at shortstop, brings it in. Good-looking catch by Kinsler. Not a very hard-hit line drive, but it still was a beautiful-looking play. Had to go about 3 steps towards left field, leap in the air, and then fall backwards. 1 out. Elward 0 for 2 at the walk. Jason Esposito is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI ground out. Base is empty, 1 away, and Esposito takes low and inside, ball 1. Esposito 1 for his last 32. The 1-0 pitch fouled off. Very good to see at least Esposito was able to put the ball in play in the 5th inning when the infield was playing back to allow the tying run to score. Esposito's been having some trouble making good contact without popping up or grounding out weakly. 1 ball, 1 strike to Esposito. Rogue on a new baseball from home plate umpire Stegner as he stands on the mound now, gets the sign and sets. The 1-1, Jason swings on a line drive towards left center field. Curry sprinting out there. He gets there, makes the catch. And there's 2 outs in the 7th inning. That was the best ball hit by Esposito today. Here's Murphy. Tommy Murphy perfect at the plate today with a single and a double in 2 at-bats. Rudy Gomez has also been perfect with a single, a walk, and one time being hit by a pitch. Two outs, no one on. Travs 2, RoughRiders 1 in the top of the 7th. Third baseman in as Murphy takes a slider outside and high. Roll back to the stretch, a 1-0 count. He kicks and deals, and Murphy swings and tips into the catcher's mitt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tommy Murphy, the Travs center fielder. Trying to get that average to 260 for the first time in a long time. Remember, it took one series in El Paso in which out of 13 at-bats he was set down only twice for him to get the average above 250. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, knee high, strike 2. Nice tight break on the curveball as Rowe gets ahead of Murphy. Murphy batting left-handed. Opens that stance. There is a large gap in right center field. Now the stretch. Rowe kicks. The pitch, a fastball. Murphy swings and misses and strikes out to end the 7th inning. And the pitchers continue to dominate this one. Travs hold this lead 2-1, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch as we go to the bottom of the 7th in Dr. Pepper's 7-Up ballpark. This is the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Arkansas Traveler Baseball runs into the bottom of the 7th inning in Frisco, and the Travs lead the RoughRiders by a score of 2-1. Star of the game tonight for the Travs, lefty Willie Collazo, as he has held the best hitting team in the league to only 2 hits over 6 innings. Now he faces the best hitter on the best hitting team, Jason Botts, who in his last at-bat hit a towering home run to left field to put Frisco ahead. Collazo will offer him a fastball low and outside. After Botts homered in the 4th inning, Asadorian, who has since been lifted from the game, singled into left field. Collazo has since set down 7 in a row. There's a strike on the outside corner with a changeup, and the count is 1-1. Botts, Beinbrink, and Eldridge to bat here in the 7th. Collazo's 1-1, down and in on a curveball, 2-1. Besides the home run by Botts in the 4th, which was his 24th of the year and 92nd RBI, he's also grounded out to second base. 2-1 pitch. Popped up first base side, foul ground. Elwood chases towards the dugout. Looks like he's got a play. He'll make the catch at the warning track. 1 out. Beinbrink steps in as he gets his first at-bat of the game. He replaced Asadorian after the 4th inning when Asadorian lined a single to left field but was thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. Beinbrink playing in left field. Right-handed batter at .259 with a batting average, 3 homers, 25 ribbies, and a soft grounder to hold it short, taken by third baseman Gutierrez. Sidearm throw to first base. And Collazo has retired 9 batters in a row. Here's Eldridge, the DH. Collazo has found his rhythm, and he's also found the release point of that changeup. Eldridge, fastball chops towards third base. Gutierrez charges in and fires to first, and another perfect inning for Willie Collazo. Hasn't allowed a base runner since the 4th inning. 10 men in a row set down by the left-hander. So Collazo pitching the Travs to a 2-1 lead as we head to the 8th on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
hotline. Can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir. What's the problem?
I can't see my picture.
Okay, sir. What I want you to do. Wipe them all down. There's a lady here. Walk straight to the corner store and pick up the $2 never mind. That's the lady.
Seven innings completed in Frisco. Travs lead 2-1 as we head into the eighth. And the fourth pitcher of the night comes on for the RoughRiders. It is Ray Beasley. Beasley takes over for Stephen Rowe. He pitched a scoreless seventh inning, and now Beasley comes out for the eighth. At this point of the year, Beasley is the closer for the RoughRiders. One of three closers they've had this year. 8 saves in 41 games. 3.12 ERA, 3 wins, no losses. Gomez leads at the top of the order, chops the first pitch towards shortstop, charging, and Kinsler will glove it on the run, flip to first, and retire Gomez for the first time today. Rudy had reached in the first inning on a single, hit by a pitch in the third, and drew a walk in the fifth. Now the ground out ends his perfect day, and here's Gutierrez. Folks, the first pitch of the game today was thrown at 7:35. It's about 9:20 right now, and we're already in the eighth inning. Let me tell you how well the pitchers have thrown tonight, and how well the fielders have responded as well, save for maybe 1 or 2 mistakes. Victor Gutierrez is 0 for 3 at the plate, and steps in now. Beasley, fastball, low and in, ball 1. 2 runs on 6 base hits for the Travelers. The RoughRiders, 1 run on 2 hits. Beasley kicks with a 1-0. Change up, line to right field. Meyer waits for it and makes the catch. 2 outs. One reason that the game is motored along so quickly is that the pitchers aren't wasting any time. If there's a lot of time between pitches, it's because the batters are the ones stepping out, readjusting their gloves, taking a long time to walk into the dugout and get a new bat after one breaks. Now, the pitchers are just up there getting their sign, and they're throwing pitch after pitch. Here's Callaspo, who gets under a pitch and pops it up behind second base. Shortstop Kinsler backpedals into center and makes the catch. That's a 4-pitch inning to get 3 outs. And we continue to motor on. Bottom of the 8th comes up. And it's 2-1 Arkansas. This is the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Jason Bourgeois will lead off for the Frisco RoughRiders in the bottom of the 8th inning with this game. A chance to get it in under 2 hours. 2-1, Travs lead. Callaspo was retired 10 in a row. Bourgeois is 0 for 2, and Willie misses low of the first pitch. Callaspo only threw 6 pitches to get 3 outs in the 7th inning. And then Ray Beasley, the Frisco reliever, only needed 4 pitches to get 3 outs in the top half of the 8th. Callaspo gets a fastball at the letters to Bourgeois, and it's strike 1. Bourgeois has popped up and flied out tonight. Meyer on deck. He's 0 for 2. So is Esposito, the number 9 batter. The 1-1 grounded and diving at third base. Victor Gutierrez comes up with it. Throws across to get the out. That'll get a star to Gutierrez, who is now, at the last 3 batters, hit ground balls to him. And he's had to take 3 different approaches. One ball that he had to cut off at the hole at shortstop. The other one that ended the 7th inning on a slow bouncer towards the third baseman that he made the play. And now a diving stop of a sure base hit to left field. He'll continue to play in as Meyer steps in. Corners draw up. Meyer shows bunt. Takes strike 1. Meyer is grounded out to third base and to second. But Gutierrez has been the busiest of the Trav infielders tonight. Callaspo with the 0-1. Meyer takes a high fastball, 1-1. Gutierrez has handled 8 chances. Only one time hasn't been able to get an out when he in an ill-advised attempt to tag out a runner coming across from second to third. Pitch to Meyer, bends him back, 2-1. Alonso's next pitch, fastball knee high, strike 2. Frisco got ahead in the 4th inning on a homer by Jason Botts, but they have only one man reach base since then. Alonso's 2-2 to Meyer, strike 3 call. A slider at the knees. And Callaspo strikes out his 3rd of the game, all of them coming on the called 3rd strike. So that's 12 in a row retired by Callaspo. Now facing the 9 batter, Esposito. Esposito was fly to right and grounded to third. Callaspo's first pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 1. This looks like the Willie Callaspo that we saw back against Frisco on August the 8th when the Travs had lost the first 4 games of a 5-game series. Esposito swings and misses, about dug himself a hole, twisting around in the batter's box. Callaspo gave the Travs 8 2/3 innings and was 1 out away from his 3rd 9-inning shutout and was relieved. There's a pitch fouled off, and Callaspo lost his glove as he followed through with that fastball. You see something new every day sometimes in this game, folks. I've never seen a pitcher lose his glove finishing a pitch. Now, we've seen plenty of batters lose the bat, but there's something about the way a glove is worn that you just don't ever anticipate it falling off a pitcher's hand. Now another 0-2 to Esposito. Hits the dirt, ball 1. In that game on August the 8th, remember the Travs had been demoralized for 4 consecutive games, including a doubleheader sweep in which they lost combined 20-1. 1-2 to Esposito, chopped toward short. Callaspo digs it out of the dirt. Throws across, and that's it. In the 8th inning, Callaspo has now pitched 4 consecutive perfect innings, and he's sent down 13 batters in order. 8 innings are in the books in Frisco. The Travs lead 2-1. Heading to the 9th on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Travs will look to add to a 2-1 lead. It's their final chance before Willie Collazo comes back for the bottom of the 9th inning. Travelers scoring their 2 runs today on an RBI ground out by Jason Esposito after Mike Elward worked a leadoff walk in the 5th and went to third base on a wild pitch. The go-ahead run scored after 2 outs in the 6th inning with Jeff Mathis singled up the middle and scored on a hit-and-run single to right field by Guerrero. Yes, Mathis scored all the way from first base on a single to right field because the right fielder Drew Meyer, who's usually an infielder, held onto the ball and allowed Mathis to go against the grain and score from first on a single. Derek Gibson leads off the 9th inning, and Ray Beasley back on the mound. A strike called on the first pitch inside corner. While the Frisco bats have stalled, the Trav bats have only collected 6 base hits today. 3 of them came in 1 inning. That was in the 6th. Travs haven't had a man reach base since Guerrero's go-ahead hit. Gibson is 0 for 2, bounced into a double play, struck out, and now he swings and misses at a changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. Mathis on deck, then Guerrero. Beasley in his 2nd inning of relief. Set down the Travs on only 4 pitches in the 8th inning. Gibson pops out of play. Third base side. That hits Chateau number 3. Beasley's next 0-2 pitch. Gibson swings and misses. He's out on strikes for the 2nd time. For Beasley, his 42nd strikeout in 50 innings. Mathis stepping up. Travs started off the 6th inning with a single by Callaspo, and then Gibson bounced into a double play. Mathis, followed by grounding a pitch up the middle for what looked like a harmless 2-out single. It wasn't harmless after Guerrero knocked him in with a base hit to right. Mathis, a foul ball off the catcher's right foot. Strike 1. Mathis seemed just as surprised as everybody else in this ballpark to find Ty Boykin waving him around third base. Boykin noticed Meyer, the right fielder, just holding onto the ball, and he was going to test that arm of Meyer. 0-1. Mathis swings, he misses. Strike 2. Frisco tonight with 2 outfielders that usually play infield positions. Beinbrink, who entered in the 4th inning for Asadora and usually plays one of the corner positions. And then Meyer, who's usually up the middle. 0-2 pitch. Mathis swings and misses at the changeup, and he's out on strikes as well. 2 outs in the 9th, both on the strikeout. Here's Christian Guerrero, whose base hit in the 6th inning put the Travs ahead. After Mathis scored, the ball got behind the catcher, but backed up by the pitcher Thompson, who threw out Guerrero trying to head into second base. First pitch from Beasley. Christian takes a strike on a fastball. Beasley doesn't have a great fastball. It's at 85, 86, but he comes with a nice-looking changeup and a funky delivery. 0-1, changeup low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steve Andrade has just started to warm up in the Arkansas bullpen. Beasley's 1-1 to Guerrero. Downstairs, 2-1. Now, you wouldn't think Andrade's going to be coming in for the 9th inning, not after Collazo's retired 13 straight. But you do want to have somebody warming up in case Willie gets into trouble. 2-1 pitch is outside, 3-1. Collazo, you would hope, will have a chance to get that complete game, which means if he does, he'll finish the season tied for the league lead. Guerrero swings, chopper off his foot. Strike 2 on the foul ball. Now, Collazo already has cinched a space as the league leader in shutouts. He's thrown 2 of them this year. One against Round Rock, one against San Antonio. I don't think anybody would have predicted that Collazo would even finish tied for the league lead in complete games this year. Another foul ball by Guerrero, leaning over the plate. Well, when the Travs needed a starting pitcher, Collazo answered the bell right when Eric Sear was promoted. In May, Collazo was called upon. Took him a few starts to get into the rotation every 5th day, as he'd been a reliever over the start of his career. But it has now worked. Guerrero flies to right field, caught by Meyer, and the inning is over. So the Travs go the last 3 innings without a man reaching base. Willie Collazo will look to end this 4-game losing streak. He comes back for the top of the 9th inning, facing the top of the Frisco order. Kinsler, Curry, and Gonzalez, 2-1 Arkansas. This is the Ticket. Total Sports 1380. We'll cut it short now.
Frank, what are you doing?
No, bring me back now.
All right, sir.
Collazo takes the mound to start the 9th inning, and the Travs lead 2-1. Collazo has retired 13 batters in order ever since a single by Rick Asadorian in the 4th. Leading off the 9th, Ian Kinsler, who's gone 0 for 3. Collazo's first pitch, a fastball at the knees for strike 1. The last time we were talking about Collazo's outing on August the 8th here in Frisco, in which he pitched the Travs to a 6-0 victory. He was 1 out away from picking up his 3rd shutout of the season. He gave up a single and was taken out of the game, and Andrade came on to get the save. Collazo winds with the 0-1 pitch. Kinsler takes it. Strike 2 called at the knees on the inside corner. But Collazo gets ahead 0-2 on Kinsler. Curry on deck, and then Gonzalez. Collazo has struck out 3 batters, all of them looking. Now the 0-2. Swung on, popped up. First baseman Elwood with a play. He calls off everybody else and makes the catch. 14 in a row by Collazo. Now the reason Willie is definitely coming back to finish this game is that when he pitched last time in Frisco, he had thrown 94 pitches by the time the 7th inning was completed. And so Kernan Ronan and Tyrone Boykin were sort of pressed to be reminded that these guys are on pitch counts. You can't just keep them out there. And they're getting up to 110 pitches. But Collazo had only thrown 88 pitches by the end of the 8th inning today. Curry takes a fastball at the letters, strike 1. So now after 3 pitches to Kinsler and 1 to Curry, it's only 92 pitches for Willie Collazo, and he's got 1 out of the 9th. Curry 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. And he'll slowly tap one right side. Tough play here for Collazo. He trips while he picks the ball up, and Curry reaches base. Very tough play right when you saw where the ball was headed. It had the effect of a drag bunt, drawing the pitcher off the mound. The first baseman Elwood didn't have a play. He couldn't leave first base vacated. So Collazo tried to pick it up barehanded and turn around and flip to Elwood at first base, but he lost his balance and stumbled into foul territory. So that was 14 men in order before Curry reaches on the infield single. And with his speed, you just know he's going to try to steal. 18 steals and 23 tries for Curry, and he's already out to a 5-step lead. Collazo will throw to first base to let Curry, he knows he's going to try to steal. The batter is Edgar Gonzalez and then Jason Fox. So this is not going to be easy for Collazo. Ty Boykin is standing on the top step of the dugout, and Andrade should be ready to go if needed. First pitch to Gonzalez in the dirt, dug out by Mathis, ball 1. Curry did not hit that ball very well. Almost the same type of ground ball in the first inning when Elwood and Collazo hooked up for an out at first base. Back to Elwood with a pickoff throw. Curry gets back in there. Corners, actually middle infielders playing for two. Gutierrez off the line at third base. Collazo's 1-0 pitch fouled away. That gets over the screen into the seats behind home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Travs 2, RoughRiders 1. Bottom of the 9th inning. Gonzalez has grounded out twice and fly to center once. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Collazo able to sneak a mid-80s fastball by Gonzalez. He must have been looking for the straight change. One and two on Gonzalez. Now the stretch. The pitch. Check swing. They'll appeal. Did he go? No. First base umpire Waters puts his hands out. Good-looking breaking ball by Collazo. Gonzalez recognized it at the very last second that he could. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curry hasn't yet had a good read of the pitcher to get a good break for a steal. Back out to a 5-step lead. Collazo throws over. There goes Curry running. Elward fires to second base, and he's out at second. Collazo knew Curry was going sometime, and he didn't have much more chances to try to steal second base, so Collazo throws caution to the wind, throwing over to first base, and he catches Curry stealing for out number 2. 1-3-6 with a put out to Callaspo. 2 outs and a 2-2 count on Gonzalez. Now the windup in Collazo's pitch. Fastball fouled back. Travelers starting pitchers have had such trouble during the second half of the season, and Collazo trying to go the distance tonight. Another 2-2. Swung on, slow fly ball, second baseman Gomez makes the catch in back of the base, and this game is over. Willie Collazo stuns the Frisco RoughRiders, ending their winning streak at 7. And Collazo pitches his 3rd complete game of the year, all of them 9-inning complete games. And the Travs win it tonight by the final score of 2-1. And you can put it in the books. Willie Collazo puts a stamp on a very successful season. Never mind the fact that he finished the year at 6-10 with an ERA over 4. Willie Collazo announced his presence this year to the Anaheim Angels as a left-handed pitcher who does have a role as a starter in this organization. Congratulations to Willie for another very fine outing tonight, and the Travs celebrate with high fives and hand pounds all around the pitcher's mound. We'll have a break and return with a recap on the Allstate Insurance postgame report on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
He doesn't get much attention. You've never heard of third base coach Ruby, have you? But he's vital to the success of the team. His experience and knowledge of the game can mean the difference between scoring a run or getting thrown out at the plate. Allstate agents play a similar role to the third base coach, although they have experience with much more than just home. They can help with auto insurance, life insurance, and your retirement needs as well. And they'll do it without using any crazy signals. They'll help you understand the coverage options available so you can find the one that's right for you. You deserve a team with big league experience. That's Allstate stands. Are you in good hands? To get a team with big league experience, just visit your local Allstate agent. Call 1-800-ALLSTATE or click on Allstate.com. Insurance subject to availability and qualifications. Allstate Insurance Company, Allstate Southeast Casualty Insurance Company, and Allstate Indemnity Company.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I take a sip, I feel it in my mouth, but there's no taste.
Okay, sir, stay with me. What's your name?
Robert.
Okay, Robert, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer. Walk right down to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Open one, take a sip, and everything should be right back to normal. Don't worry, Robert. It's going to be all right.
Next time, try to like beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, best-selling Miller Lite. Miller. Call Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Dr. Pepper 7 at Ballpark, where a fireworks display is set to start shooting off in about 5 minutes. Not much to celebrate for the Frisco fans, at least not tonight. They can celebrate a playoff run, which is certainly more than we can say for the Travelers. But tonight, the Travs pick up the victory 2-1 on the left arm of Willie Collazo as he pitches his third complete game of the season, 9 innings. Collazo strikes out 3, walks only 1, and it's a 3-hitter for Willie Collazo. Phil Elson with you on the Allstate Insurance postgame report. Let's get to the recap. This will be a quick recap, by the way. First run of the ballgame scored in the 4th inning. Jason Botts with a 1-out solo home run to left field, his 24th of the season and 7th against the Travs. Next batter was Rick Asadorian. He would line a single to left field and then try to stretch it into a double. Jason Esposito pegged him at second. Then the next 13 Frisco batters went down in order. Travs were able to tie the game in the 5th inning on the starting pitcher, Nick Massett. He offered a leadoff walk to Mike Elwood, and then an odd play as a pitch to Jason Esposito got behind the catcher, Brian Esposito. Elwood, the slowest member of the team, went from first to third base on the wild pitch and scored when Esposito grounded out to second base. Travs would take the lead in the 6th inning against Justin Thompson after a double play would strip the Travs of a leadoff single. Jeff Mathis singled into center field. Christian Guerrero then on a hit-and-run play grounded one past the second baseman Bourgeois, went to short right. The right fielder Drew Meyer, who usually plays second base or shortstop, held onto the ball, and Mathis sprinted around third base, waved around by Tyrone Boykin, and beat the throw home. He scores from first on a single, and the Travs took that 2-1 lead. Collazo perfect in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th innings. Retired the first batter of the 9th, but then Mike Curry hit a little tapper on the right side of the infield. Collazo stumbled as he picked it up, and Curry reached on the infield single. The only batter of the last 5 innings to reach for the RoughRiders, but he would be caught stealing by Collazo as he guessed correctly. After a few pitches to the 3-hitter Gonzalez, he picks Curry off at first as he tried to get into second base, and then Gonzalez pops out to Gomez at second, ending the game, and the Travs win it 2-1 in 2 hours and 5 minutes, the shortest game of the 2004 season, and Arkansas breaks the losing streak at 4 games. Also, the Travs win for only the 3rd time in 12 tries at Dr. Pepper 7 at Ballpark. Collazo the winner. His record is 6-10. Justin Thompson suffers the loss in relief, and Thompson falls to 3-2. With the win, the Travs are now 26-43 on the season in the second half. Overall, 59-79. Frisco drops to 44-25 and 80-59 overall. We'll have a break and a look at all the scores from the Texas League and the majors on the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard. This is the Allstate Insurance postgame report, and the ticket, Total Sports 1380.
Frank, what are you doing here? White Sunday, we're out of Coke. Yep. Sorry. First one to aisle 5. NASCAR fans have a one-track mind. Take the Coke that I need you to register. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real.
Slush variety. Sonic's got it, others don't. The hotter it gets outside, the more choices you need to chill down on the inside. Nothing compares to Sonic's famous slushes. With classic flavors like cherry, grape, and orange. Real fresh fruit slushes like lemon, berry, strawberry, and lime. You can even mix and match flavors to create your very own slush. Or try the latest flavors to find intense new Powerade slush. Available for a limited time only. So hurry up.
Ready, set, go.
Welcome back to Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark with the fans sticking around to watch the fireworks display. We get into the second segment of our Allstate Insurance postgame report, brought to you by Allstate Insurance, where they believe you deserve a relationship with a real person. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands? Get to the Major League scores right now on the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard. There's only one game currently in progress. That's at San Diego, where the Padres trail Colorado 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. 2 games postponed because of Hurricane Francis in Florida. Tampa Bay was supposed to host Detroit tonight. They'll make that game up in a couple of later on this month. And the entire series between Chicago and Florida was postponed in Miami today, so they're not going to even play tomorrow. They don't know when they'll make those games up, but they know they have to, with the Cubs leading the Marlins by 2.5 games in the wild card. Finals in the National League, San Francisco 9, Arizona 7. Marquise Grissom hit his 19th home run of the year. Scott Air got his first win in relief. Dustin Hermanson saved his 9th. Milwaukee 7-3 winners over the Reds tonight with Keith Ginner and Russell Branyan each going deep. Ben Hendrickson won his first game of the year against 6 losses, and Danny Kolb registered save number 36. Houston Astros beat the Pirates 6-5 at Minute Maid Field. Chad Qualls a perfect 3-0 this year, and Brad Lidge saved his 20th. Homers for the Pirates by Jason Bay, his 21st, and Jack Wilson hit his 11th. Houston goes homerless in picking up the win. Philadelphia 3 hits the Mets 7-0. Corey Lidle picks up the win. He's 9-12. Al Leiter, the loser, falls to 9-6. Jimmy Rollins hit the game's only home run. It was his 9th. Atlanta does almost the same thing to Montreal. 9-0 the Braves win. Russ Ortiz won his 14th against 7 losses. Adam LaRoche and Andrew Jones hit the home runs. St. Louis Cardinals in a battle of first-place teams win again, showing their dominance over the Dodgers 5-1. Jim Edmonds connected on his 40th home run of the season, and Jason Marquis moved his record to 14-4. Ishii took the loss. He falls to 13-7. In the American League, the Angels tonight defeated Cleveland 6-1 with Jared Washburn picking up his 11th win. They'll stay behind Oakland by 4 games as the A's defeat the Blue Jays 9-5. Texas, however, defeated Boston 8-6. Texas got home runs from Michael Young and Rod Barajas. Chris Young, who was in the starting rotation for Frisco earlier this year, went 5 innings for his first win of the year, so that will knock Boston game lower. Their lead over the Angels will fall by 1 game. And that lead now 4 games over the Angels. That also ends a 10-game winning streak for the Red Sox. Red Sox lost the chance to pick up ground of the Yankees. Baltimore 2 hits the Yankees 7-0 with Sidney Ponson pitching it the whole way for his 10th win of the year. Palmeiro, Gibbons, and Roberts with long ones for the Baltimore Orioles. White Sox 8-7 defeat of the Seattle Mariners tonight. Paul Konerko hit a couple of home runs. Cliff Lee hit his 26th. Willie Harris and Timo Perez also went deep. And the last final score comes out of Minnesota, where the Minnesota Twins down the Kansas City Royals today by the final score of 4-3. Terry Tiffey hit his first Major League home run to end the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hit it off of Dennis Reyes, who falls to 3-8. And the winning pitcher, J.C. Romero, moves to 6-1. Now to the Texas League scores. There's no other finals coming across. Round Rock needing a win to cinch a spot in the Texas League Championship Series. Round Rock leads San Antonio 9-4 in the top of the 6th. Midland in the bottom of the 4th inning in El Paso leads the Diablos 7-3, and the Wichita Wranglers lead Tulsa 2-0 in the top of the 9th at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Final score here in Frisco tonight. The Travs win it 2-1 in the shortest game ever for the Frisco RoughRiders, just 2 hours 5 minutes. Travs have played some shorter games, I know that for a fact. 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, the Travs ended the 2002 season with a game that lasted 1 hour and 37 minutes against the Shreveport Swamp Dragons. Willie Collazo goes the distance tonight, and we'll wrap up the broadcast. And, of course, you know who our BC Powder player of the game will be tonight. We'll anoint Willie Collazo as that player of the game and give you the final totals after this break on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
8-figure contract, multi-million-dollar signing bonuses, $1 million incentive clauses. Yes, professional athletes get paid a lot. But hey, you're expecting to. After all, they're in the big league. Now, Allstate's in the big league, but that doesn't mean you have to pay a lot. In fact, you may be surprised to learn that 7 out of 10 drivers who switch their auto insurance to Allstate said they save money. And you can always expect great service, even if your Allstate agent happens to pull a hamstring. Playing softball. Big league insurance for life. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands? For more information, visit your local Allstate agent or call 1-800-ALLSTATE or click on Allstate.com. Allstate, proud sponsor of the 2004 U.S. Olympic team. Based on information reported by new Allstate customers, insurance subject to availability and qualifications. Allstate Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Norfolk, Illinois.
There's a line to pick on the way, and you can get the Travs online at www.travs.com. The Arkansas Travs has one of minor baseball's most user-friendly websites with easy access to Travs game stories, up-to-date stats, and Texas League standings. You'll be informed about the Travs online at Travs.com. Purchase tickets, Travs through the biz, listen to the game. Hey, you can buy hot dogs and popcorn on the website.
Ready? Set.
as we've seen throughout the 2004 season, it's very difficult to win without good starting pitching or even good relief pitching. Tonight, the Travs didn't even need to go into the bullpen, and Willie Collazo showed them how it's done with a 9-inning complete game victory, his third 9-inning complete game of the season, which will mean that Collazo finishes the season tied for the league lead with 3 complete games and also throws 2 shutouts to lead the Texas League. So Willie Collazo, tonight's BC Powder player of the game, goes 9 innings, allows 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. He struck out 3. Collazo runs his record to 6-10. He set down 13 batters in a row and also retired 14 of the final 15 batters that he faced. Losing pitcher tonight was Justin Thompson, as Thompson allowed the winning run on 3 hits in the top of the 6th inning. Thompson falls to 3-2. The final totals tonight, and they are official: Travs 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and Arkansas strands 4 runners on base. The RoughRiders 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and Frisco strands 2 runners on. Time of game, 2 hours and 5 minutes, the shortest game of the season for the Travs and the shortest game in the 2-year history of Frisco RoughRider baseball. Paid attendance on fireworks night, 10,845. And, of course, the BC Powder player of the game tonight is Willie Collazo. Collazo winning that for the 4th time this year. Don't forget, fans, BC Powder is the official pain reliever of the Arkansas Travelers, because BC gets into your system fast and it goes to work fast. For headaches, backaches, or muscle pain, or 9-inning complete games when you need it, nothing works faster than BC. Use as directed. Well, this win for the Travs ends a 4-game losing streak and also finishes Frisco's winning streak at 7. And tomorrow, the last game of the 2004 season. 2 o'clock start time. The Travs will send Corey Lee to the mound. Lee in his final outing of the year, of course. Corey's record 2-6 and a 4.26 ERA. Frisco is not named their starting pitcher. And what started as a very positive outlook on the 2004 season, hopefully the Travs can end the campaign with a victory tomorrow afternoon. Again, the first pitch will be thrown at 2 o'clock. We'll have the ITT Tech pregame show at 1:45 here on the Ticket, Total Sports 1380. Big thanks back to the studios for Michael Watts. A fine job done by Michael tonight. Also, thank you, Trav fans, for tuning in, whether it was on the website at Travs.com or on the station, 1380 AM KDXE North Little Rock. This is Phil Elson. Again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Again, the final score from Frisco's Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark: the Arkansas Travelers 2 and the Frisco RoughRiders 1. Folks, we'll be talking baseball again for the final time tomorrow afternoon.